Thank you everybody again for signing up and attending this webinar. This evening I really want to show you kind of the status of where we are with moving the capability that's available in Visions to the web. Some people call it the cloud. It's still the internet, and there are servers, farms all over the world that are supporting I'll call it software on the internet. But I want to cover tonight basically status of where we are and our big development. I started this process some time ago, and I've talked to a lot of people of how to take the Visions technology and make it more usable, more user-friendly, more accessible, more reliable. And I think what I'm doing here now with the people at Wall Street Winning, I'll be able to fulfill that dream. What we've come up with for the near term, because it's going to takes time to do developments, we're going to be offering in July, hopefully in the middle of the month, maybe earlier, something we call Winning Signal. And that's what I want to cover with you tonight. What is Winning Signal and how does that relate to what you've all been using? I think you'll be totally amazed of what we've been able to do. So with that, I want to start with my presentation. There's a bunch of PowerPoints. There are slide numbers. If you do have questions, I would suggest you just kind of write the slide number down and write the question down, and we'll try to handle them all at the end because I think it'll flow a lot better. So what are the features in view of Winning Signal? Well, the Winning Signal is a signal of when to buy and sell any stock or equity based on my stock and option trade technology. And you know I've published that in a number of books. The latest one was Show Me the Trade. We're also working on a new book, upcoming release called Wall Street Winning, Sex, Lies, and Getting Rich. Trying to attract more people out there in the investing world. And the key is if you put in the right terms in the title, you get a lot of search engines to discover what you're offering. I want to also just let you know that I'm going to identify maybe some opportunities for you later on in the presentation, so you should kind of hang around, don't leave, because the best part's going to come later at the end. It's my goal to show you how to make money with winning signals. So this is really my feeling is the next step to success for the average investor. We've had tools and capabilities in the past. I think the one that I'm going to be showing you tonight is going to be maybe revolutionary of what you've been working with. So what are winning signals? There are two types. One is called the monthly signal. This is based on my original finite state machine from the Visions Technical Analysis Model, VTAM. You're all familiar with VTAM. That generates basically a monthly signal of when to buy and sell any stock or ETF. In the process of our implementation of moving the capability, and I'll call it the trade technology, on the new platform, a server that's accessed through a web page from any browser, whether you're on an Apple or a PC or your iPad or your iPhone or whatever smartphone you use, you can get access at this implementation. That's a very key thing, and we have been using all of, I'll call it the base underlying development software to make sure that it's going to work and the information is presented properly on all these different devices. So there is new, I'll call it, platform technology that's needed to deliver that capability. So we're basically at the head of the pack regarding that. So that's going to be exciting. The second signal is called the weekly signal. This is based on some an advanced version of VTAM that we basically developed in this process of moving the Visions capability into the new platform. And what it does, it mines the data, basically looking for short term, call it about a week, price movement and momentum. Uh, it's something that, maybe happened because to me, working with a developer, I went through all the underlying algorithms, had to basically transfer technology because there's a lot of underlying things that you need to understand. And in the process of doing the new implementation, uh, we developed the capability in the testing process to come up with this weekly signal. So it's a major new development, and I think you'll see that it's something that might help you a lot. Uh, I think this capability will help you make a lot of money, and that's my goal. My goal is to help everyone uh, get an advantage in the stock market because that's where the action is and that's where the opportunity is. So that's why I'm doing this to not only help myself but to help your financial well-being. Now you're all aware of what the winning signal finance state machine is. It's the states that any equity goes through from a wait to a buy to a hold through a sell and then back to a wait. So, this is called a finite state machine because these are the only states that exist, and all the algorithms and underlying logic then are designed to move through these states. So this is why this is, I'll call it, so successful. There are no holds, there are no ifs. It has to, in fact, execute and operate successfully each time. So, and this is what computers like. Computers can do an awful lot for you if you can give it the right algorithm and the right program to make things happen. So this state machine is very important in the implementation. So, and these are the states. I think you're all aware of them. You're in a wait position, then you buy, you're in a hold position, then you are asked to sell. I mean, that's what you go through in this investing process, and then you go back to a wait. So that's key in this whole implementation. One of the things that's important is that I'll say this winning signal, it's the new age of investing where the computer works for you and puts money in your pocket. This is my goal. I want to put money in your pocket, and to do that, we want to let the computer do all the work. And this is the whole new development with this implementation, that it is going to be doing the work for you every night. One of the problems I know we all have is time. We only have so much time. But now with the advancement in computer technology, computers can do a lot more than we ever could in the past. So I know everyone has tried to run a set of symbols each night to get the information. I have tried to run the S&P 500 every night. It takes, my extra computer, it's an i7, crunches, all night long. Hopefully at the end of the morning, I have information. Well, we're able to process with this implementation all 8,000 symbols every night. The computer is doing all the work. It's doing all the fundamentals and is doing all the optimization for every stock that's out there. So the key is we're going to let this computer give us opportunities that before were unavailable because you just couldn't find them. You didn't have enough time, not enough compute power. Well, that has been solved. So every night the process will be executed so that every morning there will be a set of buys and sells for the next trading day. That's key because now you're more in a position of making decisions on opportunities versus taking the time to try to find them. And I know Visions did a good job, I think, in my mind, of helping you find them, because the problem is you still had to do a lot of work. This process now is going to do it all for you. So you don't have to do these searches. Winning Signals is going to do all the work. You get the results every day in your inbox, in your email system, or on your mobile phone. We're going to be delivering buys and sells to you wherever you want it on your mobile phone. So you don't have to be in front of a computer. You can be out on the beach in the morning or whatever you're doing at breakfast, and you pick up your iPhone and look at it, and lo and behold, there you have 3 buys, okay, in your in basket today, saying, okay, here's something for you to take a look at. So that's going to be the key. Let the computer do all the work. So let's take a look at a winning signal in action. The example I've taken here, I'm going to show you first, is eBay. This happens to be the eBay chart that's being offered, basically, Wall Street winning. This is the implementation from, what basically, if you look at it, it looks somewhat like what Visions does, but it's a little maybe cleaner. And it shows you the buys and sells that were found over time. And what I want to do is kind of walk through some of this information to give you an idea of what's going to be available. There's a bar at the bottom of the chart where it shows you last price, the number of wins in trades. So here we've had 5 trades, 5 wins. So we were 100% successful in this particular example. There are other ones where there's sells at a loss, but just happened to pick this one. The overall gain was 34%. So if you add up the gains in each one of these buy-sell pieces here, there's 5 of them, that adds up to about 34%. The success ratio, or rating as we call it, is 34.36, so highly successful, and I'll go over kind of that table in a few minutes. And then we have what is the yield if you invested $10,000? Well, the net result at the end of this period is $13,846. So if you started out with $10,000 at that first buy, and then you sold and just basically held that money in your account, and then did the next buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, you went through those 5 trades, you would have $13,800 in your account. So the gain would have been $3,846. So there is some compounding going on there, because you'll note that you sold at one price that was 55, and then later on you bought at 50. You got advantage of a lower price. So there is some compounding going on. The average percent is 34. If you just add them up, the actual yield was kind of 38%. So that's the compound factor. And so in a simple look at this, it says start at the year at $10,000. At the end of the year, I made $3,800. And the $10,000 was sitting there waiting just for eBay. I didn't use the money in the 2-month period when it was, when there was no opportunity in eBay and something else, which you could do. So that's another opportunity to basically leverage some more in an account. So this example is just for eBay. So that's the information on being presented with the chart. Here's the actual buy signal that's being generated and being sent to you on your iPhone or on your computer, wherever you get access through your email. And let's just kind of step through this a little bit. On the left, you see buy, eBay, and the last price. And then you look at this number of big number right in the middle, 687. Well, what's that number? Well, this is the potential return that this buy is planning to get you on the next buy-sell cycle. $687 is what I'll call it the forward-looking opportunity is on this opportunity, or forward-looking potential return on this particular trade, on $10,000. So that is a key element in looking at multiple opportunities. You can kind of weigh one against the other depending on what your risk level is and what your goal is. Now, there's also some more information if you look closely. The annual return, 34%, the company information, who is this? eBay Services, it's a USA company. Success rating, which is basically trying to give you or show you the probability of success in this particular opportunity, in this, call it buy opportunity. And then you'll also notice we've identified that this stock is a member of the S&P 100, 500, and the NASDAQ 100. Okay, so that tells you one thing. It tells you that this stock is being watched by a lot of institutions. Everybody who has indexes based on the S&P 100 has to buy eBay. So it's well diversified. The volume and the coverage then is going to be significant, which gives you, I'll call it some, puts away those concerns of liquidity. Is there a market? Is this thing going to jump all over the place? It gets some stability in this particular stock itself. So there's a lot of information. This is what the buy. So this is what you get to look at and saying, oh, boy, I got a lot of stuff here. Even I can make a decision on this one right now, just with this set of information, looking at making $687 on the next trade in eBay. So let's look at some more pieces of, of this panel. The success rating, these three money bags here. Why money bags? Well, I want to make you a lot of money. And to do that, we have to be successful. We have to look at opportunities that have a high probability of success. That's the only way you're going to win. This is not just throwing a dart at a board and hoping things happen correctly. This is, I'll call it, data mining and processing a lot of information every night so that we can rate stocks based on their fundamentals, based on their past history, and based on what we think is going to happen going forward. So let's look at the money bags. Here is the scale. We have up to 5, 1 to 5. It's really a combination of win-loss and percent return. So it's trying to gauge our past win-loss ratio, how successful have we been, and what is the return that we can get on a particular stock. So the higher this number, the better. The higher the number, the more money bags. So we're basically trying to make the scale kind of very visual. So I'm saying if there's only one money bag, it's marginal. There's, getting that return is more risky. 2 is okay. 3 is a good potential, and beyond that is excellent and super. So anything above, 3, 4, or a 3, 4, and 5 is going to be a highly potential good opportunity to be successful. There are going to be some okays and marginal. They're there because there are going to be some times when there are not going to be a lot of buys, maybe. Okay, we've experienced that before when the market has been in these, I'll call it high end or high up states. Everything kind of freezes up because everything is trading too high. So that can happen, and that might send you some cautionary signals. You get a lot of okays or marginal indicators. You might say, well, I don't want to take that risk. I'd rather wait till I see a 3 or 4, which is exactly what you should be doing. I'm trying to get you an excellent return with a great, high probability for success. So that's the money bag definition. So we want a lot of money bags for a highly successful trade. Also, you noticed on the buy signal there was a button called More Stats. Well, this is the base information. If you think you need more statistics, well, let's go look and see what else is available. Well, we have the fundamentals. So here is the form of the fundamentals, and if you scan through this, you'll notice that everything that I have presented with visions is here, and there are a couple other things that we put here to visually give you a better idea of what's happening. For example, the range for this stock, the 25-week range, we show the high and the low and where it currently is at. The quarterly earnings there you can see are nice little green boxes. It turns red if it's negative. Earnings release. Turns out eBay is going to report on July 22nd. That's 32 days away. That's an important day. It's important information. Some people say, I don't want to trade before or right near earnings release because the stock goes through it, a bunch of gyrations, and I don't want to take the risk. The information is now here, right in front of you. Don't have to go anyplace else. We have bear cash as implemented in Visions. And then at the bottom, you'll see a big long bar, red and green. And right in the middle, it says bought at 6:02, $60.02. What is that? Well, this is when the signal was generated. Remember on June 21st, we bought at $60 on the buy. And these are the two sell signals. Sell if it drops below 59, or sell when it's above $60.92. Okay, so there is the sell. And so now we have all the information on the fundamentals on one page to make, again, to refine our decision. Up on the left, you'll see I've circled something called chart and profile, and up on the right, something called, looks like a big badge, and I'll cover those next. So let's go next to the profile. Well, if you see stock symbol EBAY and you really don't know what it is, if you click profile, it'll tell you. What does eBay do? It's in the services sector. What industry is it in? What country is it established in, and so forth. So now you can read all about eBay. This was available on a trade planner, but now here it's available with fundamentals. Great place. Learn about it when you want to make your decision on the buy. So those are the profile. The chart. Say, oh, I want to see the chart. Okay, well, you just press that and you go back now, look at the full chart. Remember, you just got the buy signal in your email, and so now you can get the other information in the background, and it's basically all available for every stock being presented. This is not something you have to go and get. You just press the button and the server will deliver it to your web page. So here's the chart, if you want to look at the chart again. Then we have this badge called conservative. This is one of the things that we're doing now for you, is that we're taking all of the stocks and we have refined the best fit into 3 buckets, okay? Conservative, moderate, and aggressive. And why did we do that? Well, we did that because Visions by itself, when you run Scout, for example, it just generated conservative signals. In other words, I've been very cautious in my investing career, and I've been very conservative, and the people have challenged me and said, okay, but there are a lot of people out there who want to take more risk, and there are opportunities, so why don't you show it to them? I says, okay, I'll do that, but we're gonna sort them. I don't want everybody to get the more aggressive signals and not know it. So we put them into 3 buckets here, and I'm saying a conservative signal should get you about 25%. A moderate can get you more, 25 to 45% return, but you've increased your risk level. So now you've got to understand that, I'm taking more risk, but look at the reward I can get. Okay, that's fine. Then the aggressive, we say 45 plus. And what we've done is we've relaxed some of the filters on the fundamentals to come up with aggressive. For example, in aggressive, we've basically said, well, ignore bear cash. It's okay. I said, okay, that's aggressive. There's a company that has a lot of debt. They're borrowing a lot of money to, I'll call it, expand their operation. That's great. It's aggressive because if they get in trouble and they can't service their debt, it affects their stock price. So that's an aggressive type, I'll call it, opportunities. And so therefore, when you pick aggressive or you select that to execute that signal, that you're aware of that this is a more aggressive buy opportunity. So we have those 3 then now that we're basically categorizing everything and presenting the buy signal with one of these 3 type of indicators. So now we've done all that filtering for you automatically every night. So the computer is doing all of this work. And so you get to choose conservative, moderate, or aggressive. So again, trying to improve your success rate, giving you a lot of opportunities to look at every day. So once you've gone through all of those buy statistics, let's say, made that decision and bought, the next signal that you're going to get is a sell, right? I mean, this is what the next state is in our finite state machine. We did a buy, we were in a hold, and the next signal is going to sell. So the system, when it determines it's time to sell, and you saw the 2 price points that it determined based on past history and the trend and momentum in the stock, it will generate this sell signal. So the sell signal for eBay here came on June 3rd. Remember, we bought this back on May 21st. Okay. The buy, we did the buy at $57.93, so our net gain on $10,000 was $700, 7% in 73 days. Remember, we had a target of, I think, $687. Well, we beat it by $13. The last price here was 62. That's what the sell took place at. And the sell signal is basically sell. There is no more information you need other than to basically take action and sell, because that's the action we want you to take. That is how you're going to improve your result, by following the signals. And in this case, it would be 7% in 73 days. So it gets back then to our finite state machine. We went through this wait state. We had a buy signal. For eBay, it was in a hold basically for 73 days, and then we got to sell for a gain, and then it was put back in a wait state, waiting for another opportunity to buy into that equity or something else. So the winning signal is the next step to success for the average investor. Now let's go through all the 4 states. Here we have a wait state. This is what the fundamentals will look like. This company, AMBA, we're in waiting. It's a moderate 1. Here we have a buy for GDX. It's a conservative 5. So here's a significant opportunity. It happens to be an ETF, which is identified up in the name. That's the other thing we've been able to do, is give you all the information in this signal. It's a market vector ETF. Market vectors gold miners ETF. So basically showing you what this opportunity is. And on the buy, you'll note down at the bottom I've circled what to sell at. So you bought at 1949, sell above 1973 or below 1950. So the system basically now is monitoring every day what's happening, and is going to issue the sell based on one of these 2 numbers, going through the algorithm, and when it detects that it's time to sell. Here we have the hold. Well, if we're in a hold state, we bought earlier, so we would have the sell numbers, sell below or sell above. You'll notice here the current price up on the left, $40.24. We bought at $39.83. Wow, current price is above the sell price. So what's going to happen here? This stock is going up. It's above our sell at gain, basically. First time this thing turns around, we're going to get a sell the stock. We're going to get an indication because it's above our sell price. Basically, one of the decision process and rules is to basically take your gain to the bank whenever possible, based on the formulas and the algorithm for this particular stock. This is where I think a lot of people make their mistake, is they hold too long. They say, well, the system can't be right, I'll just wait. No, you shouldn't wait. You want to always follow the rules, because there'll always be more opportunity to use those assets to buy something else and generate a return. So why not take the gain that's available to the bank? Because on the sell, you'll basically get a sell signal. If you look at the fundamentals on the sell signal, it'll say here, sell at a gain. This is a weekly. Again, this is an ETF, as indicated by the name. And it's an aggressive 1. So it's an aggressive stock, which basically the underlying filters have detected based on the fundamentals. And this one happens to be on market cap and buy rank. That makes it an aggressive type situation. So that's important. The fact that we are, I'll call it, executing every stock every night, updating every signal, every fundamental. When the system says buy, that's the opportunity to buy. When it says sell, that's the time to sell. We want to take all the guesswork out of that decision process because the algorithms are based on each particular stock. And this is, I think, the advantage that we are going to have above anybody else out there in the marketplace. If you talk to a lot of traders or investors, they have an algorithm, but it's kind of universal. I mean, and the thing that we're discovering is one size does not fit all. We have an algorithm per stock. And this is the optimization that's taking place on every stock symbol every night. You get the advantage of that, and all that work is being done for you. We're going to let the computer do the work. You've heard of Watson, right? The IBM machine that, it's been able to beat anybody at Jeopardy or beat anybody at chess, and they're now using it to solve a lot of problems, especially in the medical world, okay, even on drug and cancer research, because they can process a lot of information. It's almost like a learning system. What we've done here, not quite maybe that far yet, but we have been able to, on every stock symbol, have the system learn what's happened in the past and what is the best setting for each stock going forward. So we want to improve our success rate every day, not just once in a while or once a month or once a year. We're going to make sure that we're going to be able to do it every day, and that is the key on the implementation. It's being done on high performance servers. It's a server farm, so they're throwing, we're throwing compute power at the problem. Multiple images being executed at the same time. Each one gets a set of symbols, and the data gets crunched. And that's the beauty of that occurring in a server implementation versus on everybody's PC. I guess I could have done that too if we would have given everybody that was running Visions one symbol and said, okay, you run that every night and then give us the result. We would have had multiple systems running, solving the same problem, but the logistics of that is almost impossible. So that is part of the thing that we're offering here, and the exciting part about it that it happens every night. Let's look at some winning signals. Here's a chart with monthly trades. Here's AMBA. So on this one here, we returned 86%, a $10,000 investment at that first buy, and there was 3 buy sells. We would have returned $21,000 or $11,000 on a $10,000 investment. Doubled your money on 3 trades. Now it's going up. You should be able to do that, right? But you don't know. I mean, but the system would have given you a significant return, and I think it would take a lot of guesswork out of, well, should I stick with it or should I sell? It's being, those decisions are being made for you. If we look at it on a weekly basis, we have improved our return by 30–40%. Amazing. Let's go back to the other chart. Here we have the monthly. We're doing basically a longer term investment. This is what the algorithm is looking for. If I turn around the algorithm and say, I want to look at a short term, very short period of time, get me in and out of this stock, can I do that? And the answer is yes. The computer can do, I'll call it the pattern recognition of when to buy and sell for this whole set of data points for AMBA. And look at the return has gone up significantly, 130%, but look at the yield. $10,000 at the beginning of the year turned into $33,000 at the end. So we have mined the stock and taken all this money to the bank. We've taken $23,000 to the bank. One of the neat things, if you look at this chart, you're in it for a short period of time. In other words, you're buying, you're selling within 4 or 5 days, where before you maybe been in a stock for 2 months. You're saying, well, I'm really now, getting my broker a lot of commissions. Well, I mean, for $23,000 out of 10, I think, it's okay to give them some commissions. Just go to a discount brokerage, and you'll be happy to take your $23,000 to the bank, because this is the opportunity that the weekly process is showing us. It's not available. We're not finding it on every stock. This is one of the things that have been analyzed. I've been working on now for about 4 months, and I want to show you that, because you say, oh wow, this is great, now I can do this for everything. Not so fast. But before that, I also wanted to show you that we are working on offering 4 portfolios of opportunities. Bronze, silver, gold, diamond. Again, it's kind of level of risk, 20, 30, 40, or 50% returns. And the upper ones, yeah, we're doing higher risk weekly trades in some higher risk opportunities, but we're getting significant returns. So this is something that's going to be offered where if you sign up for the bronze portfolio, you basically get the trades occurring for every stock in that portfolio. And I am currently managing this. I've been doing it for about 3.5 months, having very good success. And there's no overlap. In other words, I have separated the positions so that one stock is not, is only in one of these portfolios. I'm not taking a high winner and putting it in all 4, because that would defeat the purpose. The bronze is a very conservative 20% a year opportunity, and I think it's for those people that feel that they don't want to be exposed to a lot of risk. And again, it's the risk-reward ratio on the return. So that is something that is being put together and will be offered. So what does this all cost? I mean, everybody's saying, this sounds great, Ron. We've been using Visions for, number of years and been paying about, $30 a month. Well, the base price for winning signals is $99 a month. So you get daily signals for 1 user profile. We're saying if you want additional profiles, we're going to charge more, which is reasonable. The more money you can make, the more the system basically is doing for you, and therefore that is kind of what it's worth. So, but for $99, you can get conservative signals every day and make a lot of money. We're going to offer the winning signal portfolio, same thing, $99 a month for daily signals. Each additional portfolio is $99, or you can get all 4 for $299. So if you want to expose yourself to multiple levels of risk, I would say you want to follow different portfolios, then the monthly charge is enough. So if you add this all up saying, wow, that's a lot of money per month. Okay, yes it is, but the implementation I think is going to be worth it. We're spending a lot of money bringing this out into the marketplace. And the capability it's providing is going to be unbelievable, because this system is doing all the work for you. You no longer have to do any searching for opportunities, any crunching any numbers. Your process is looking at making decisions on multiple buys and doing the sells and the buys as they are delivered to you every day. So you're managing your portfolio versus trying to find good new opportunities, because the system now is doing that every night with fundamentals and basically when to buy and sell on the chart. So this is where we are in what this, this capability will be offered as a price point offering in the marketplace. We call this the new age of investing. We're going to let the computer do the work for you and put money in your pocket. In other words, computers are made to basically execute rules and algorithms, and let's get them to work for us so we can put a lot more money in our pocket. And I want to get that for you, is put a lot more money in your pocket. Uh, to give you an example, you say, oh, okay, that all sounds good. Here's a significant, I'll call it a breakthrough, but on the analysis that I've done, it works for stocks, companies, that have been around for a long time, that are basically tracking inflation. Let's take a look at the members of the Dow 30. It's a prime example. The Dow 30 is made up of the biggest industrial companies that have been around forever, except for GM, which went bankrupt, right? So even big companies can go bankrupt. But if we take the Dow 30, you say, well, all of those stocks, they float around up and down. You really can't make any money in them, right? Well, if you run them through and you track them with winning signal, here's the result. First of all, I've taken all 30 stocks and basically took the yearly result for each one of them when I've plotted them here. It starts out with Apple, goes all the way down to Exxon. And if you look at each one of these, you'll see that there's two bars. The lighter gray bar is the result for a monthly type trade, and the darker bar is the weekly. So they're side by side. It turns out in Apple, results are a little bit better if you just follow the monthly signal. The weekly signal is very close, but the weekly signal, in my mind, has less risk, okay, because you're in and out. Take American Express, AXP. We had 10% or 7% on the monthly, negative on the weekly. So the weekly could not find patterns in the way that AXP trades that can get you any more money. It's not there. It's not in the cards, so to say. It's good to know. Okay, you wouldn't want to try, tracking a weekly. There's Boeing, BA, Caterpillar, Cisco, almost the same, weekly and monthly. Here we have CVX, monthly nothing, but on a weekly trade you can generate about 12% for the year. DuPont, Disney, GE, Goldman Sachs. Look at IBM. You say, well, IBM has gone nowhere. Well, we would have been with a monthly signal process generated about 7%. If you would have do a buy and hold in IBM, you'd be significantly negative. Their stock price is way underwater if you go back 12 months. And so you go through each one of these. Look down the bottom 15. A lot of lower stack or a lot of lower bars, except for Microsoft and Nike and United Health. Significant opportunities. I've put in the average line. So if you look at the right around 20%, it turns out the monthly's return average, if you did all 30 of these and just watched the monthlies, you would generate about 20% a year. If you did weeklies on everybody, you would do 15% a year, just by following the signals. The red line, or the purple line, whatever you want to call it, the red line is the average for the Dow 30. In other words, the average return in a buy and hold for the Dow 30 is about 7% for 12 months. That's what's happened to the Dow 30 in the last 12 months. It's gone up 7%. It's a mix of all of these companies. So you've outperformed even on a weekly basis twice, 15%. The opportunities even do better. Get 20% out of the Dow 30 stocks. People say it's not possible. You can't do it. Yes, you can. Okay, this system will do it. In fact, if you just pick all the stocks that are above the 20% line, you'd be even significantly higher, because these are the ones that have trading patterns, okay, that can be in fact data mined. And you can take those market price swings, you can take those gains to the bank. One or a number of these, if you look at the 25%, there are 11 stocks that have more than a 25% gain for the year on this whole table. That's almost, that's almost half of them. So why wouldn't you just invest in those that have a significant opportunity? Let's take a look at Microsoft, because just look at that chart. It has significantly weekly opportunities. Here's the weekly on Microsoft. $20,000 investment. If you bought it at the beginning there, the year 2000 and July of last year, and held it till now, you would have $22,652 gain. Winning signals would have generated $29,000. Okay, so 3 times the return because you were in and out at the right time. Because Microsoft, just look at it, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. So you want to buy and sell at the right time. And the process generates significant return, to the tune of $6,800 on one stock. Okay, so this is why the winning signal is going to be worth at least $99 a month for the entry price. It's a small investment for the opportunity to return a significant gain in anybody's portfolio just by following these signals. This is not, something that no one else can do. You can get this because now we have the computer, I'll call it horsepower, to do all the processing, and we have done all the, I'll call it research and development on the mathematics, on the algorithms to make this possible. So it's a combination of things, and things have all come together at this point to make this available. So this is what's exciting, the fact that we can extract, I'll call it extract all of this money out of Microsoft and put it in your hand. You can put it in your account in your bank, all for $99 a month. So to even give you some more view, I'm going to show you some examples that have gone through all of the fundamental and probabilities for success filters. So the system then has done all this work each night, and I'm going to show you these charts because it reinforces what I've been trying to tell you. Here's Under Armour, 32% on a monthly, 43 on a weekly. Okay, so it's showing you how to extract money out of this stock, okay, on a continuous basis. Here we have Avis. Look at Avis, went up and down. In fact, it's lower now than it was 12 months ago. A normal buy and hold, you'd be in a loss position. For the monthly trade here, you would have had a 28% return. On the weekly, almost 18. So here's the case where monthly was better, but still 18% return on a stock that has gone down from 60 to 50 for the year. It's unheard of, right? So there is a way to process information and make these signals available. We have found it. I'll call it engineered it. It's not an invention. It is an engineering feat. Let's put it that way, based on mathematics and mining the data. Here's an EFT, QLD. The monthly is 33%, weekly at 60%. This is a ETF. So QLD is ProShares Ultra, so it's a 2x market ETF on the Qs. And again, why not take advantage of, even that's leverage that you're using, but look at the buy and sells on the weekly, a 60% return, and you can count the days in between the buys and the sells. So you're not in it for weeks and weeks and weeks. You're in a buy, and then if the system says it's gone down at the right point, it says sell, then it waits, and then it buys, and then waits for it to go up and sells. Okay, so it's mining these, I'll call it upturns, taking those gains to the bank, and sure, there's going to be some times when you're going to sell at a loss. In this case here, we're 6 times on QLD at the bottom that we sold at a loss. The red cells, there's 6 of them. But there's 19 green cells, 19 successful, 100, where the expected gain was taken to the bank. Remember on that eBay buy signal, we said, okay, we expected to get about $600 and I think it was $87 return. We got 700. Same thing happens here on every one of these greens. There's a number that says, okay, this is what we expect to get on this buy-sell sequence. Here's FSL. 46% monthly, 81% weekly. Significant opportunity to extract, take money off the table, out of the market, out of the stock market. This is the key. You're taking the money out of the stock market. You're a winner. This is where too many people make the mistake. They say, Warren Buffett says buy and hold forever. He says only buy those things that well, okay, now you can buy and hold it forever, but when do you get to enjoy your gains? I mean, a lot of us are retired and we need monthly income. Warren Buffett doesn't need, he doesn't need monthly income, okay? But us old folks, we need monthly income. So we got to take money and take it out of the investment. So here's a way to take the money out of the investment. You buy and sell, take some money and put it to the side because you've had a 81% gain on FSL for a 12-month period. Significant opportunity to take a lot of money to the bank. Okay, so those examples I just showed, they passed all the filters. They were good opportunities. Now I'm going to show you some that didn't pass our fundamental filters, but they have a significant return, but the risk. So we're basically not looking at the ownership risk. You're not considering it, saying, well, I don't care if the company doesn't have any earnings or doesn't have any real fundamentals. They don't have any revenue. I mean, this is the .com era, right? Well, these are kind of the same indications here. If you just throw away the fundamentals, there are big opportunities out there. Okay, here's AAVL. Invest 20,000, double it, goes to 39,000. Conventionally, it would be $11,000 loss. I mean, 11,000. You'd lose 9,000. Winning Signal gave you basically 19,000. Doubled your money because you bought and sold at the right time. But the fundamentals in this company are terrible, but you're ignoring them. It's ignore them here in AE, right? And just data mine the buys and sells. You'd go from 20,000 to 32. So you'd made $12,000 because of Winning Signal. Conventionally, buy and hold, you would have been down. You would have lost 7,000. Went from 20 to 13. We went from 20 to 32. So there is a way to get, again, take money out of the stock market on high risk opportunities. And I'm showing it because some of these get to be, sky high. And you say, well, can you do it? Should you do it? Well, that's everybody's own decision. I'm suggesting you don't need to do it. You don't need to expose yourself to companies that don't have correct fundamentals. Here's another one, PBYI. This is a biotech, right? Sure, biotechs have big opportunities. Look at that, $20,000 we started and we generated. We were at 71,000 at the end of that last sell. We had 71 and $51,000 in the bank. Wow, I tripled my money. Went from 20 to 60, 70,000. Conventionally, I mean, it was 34. You made 14,000, right? But look at that, 20 to 71. Is it possible? Yes, it is. But the ownership risk is even, significant. You have to understand that. And so the system doesn't show these. They're there, okay? And you can put in symbols and look at them, but we are not bringing them up forward for you because I said no. I said the ownership risk is too high. I'd rather you invest in things where I know you're going to be successful with. These can go against you and really hurt when the company goes bankrupt or closes its doors, which happened in the .com bubble era to too many people. Got stuck with their stock that went from $20 to zero in 20 days. So that you don't need to do that. So I said, okay, I was going to show you something at the beginning here. Maybe I can help put some money in your pocket. So here's an opportunity I'm going to make available or show you, and I'll call it winning signals do expire. In other words, when it says buy, you've got to execute. You can't fiddle around and say, well, I'll think about it for 2 or 3 days. That may be too long, okay, because you may get a sell in 3 days because that was the opportunity and that was what the system said was the time frame to take your money out off the table. So here's an opportunity with FSL. So I'm saying it's good for action only on June 24th, which is tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, take a look at FSL, and you can determine whether or not you want to execute the buy. I'm saying you also can go to wallstreetwinning.com, www.wallstreetwinning, to get additional information and a free trial. So you can sign up for some freebies there. But here's an opportunity for all of you people who took the time to attend this webinar. Here's the chart for FSL. Here's its past history, and you'll note that it's been in a buy state. This happens to be another buy opportunity that I looked at today. It's had a good success record, 20,000 to 42, so you doubled your money in a year. This is a weekly, so you could expect a short-term time frame, 3 to 4 days. It will be in and out of this stock. It's a moderate 2. Why is it a moderate 2? Well, look at, this is fundamentals we're looking at right now. Bear cash is negative. So my ruling was, okay, if you ignore bear cash, then you've increased the risk, becomes a moderate. If you ignore bear cash and you have no revenue growth, I'm saying that's aggressive. So there's part of the filtering process right there. It has positive quarterly earnings. Earnings are coming out in about a month. So that's not a factor right now today. It has good volume, market cap. There's the current price, 41.65. That's as of right now tonight. The buy signal was at 42.07. So we're right in range for FSL to take action tomorrow. Here's the profile. If you don't know what FSL is, it's Freescale Semiconductor. So they provide embedded processors worldwide. So again, they're in the electronics industry, making chips. So it closed today at 41, so it's still a buy after this price. So this is my gift to you for attending this webinar in person. Go look at FSL tomorrow morning. Think about it. You can test the water. You also need to write down these two numbers. Since we're right near the buy price, 41.65. Write down the two sell prices. Sell above 42.60 or sell below 41.44. So you're going to have to watch this one. If we had the signals being sent out to you, you would get the buy and you would also get the sell when either one of these happened. But since that's not happening yet, you can monitor this on your own. This is a way to kind of test the water a little bit on this process. Put down about the disclaimer because I'm just showing you an opportunity. I'm not recommending an investment. I'm just showing you the results of what our system produces, and past results are not. They don't indicate what the future results can be. Okay, so you got before you invest, you've got to learn as much as you can about the investment that you're going to make. You've got to do the research. That's because knowledge will put the odds in your favor. So it's your decision. I'm presenting this to you as an opportunity for you to take a further look and to make that decision on your own. So in all of this, I've come up and convinced everybody I want something special for all my past and present vision users. So as a thank you, what I'm saying is that we're going to give you Wall Street Winning is going to give all past and present vision users all 3 winning signals in all portfolios for $99 a month for the next 12 months. So that's a $699 per month value. I'm saying, okay, for $100 a month, you get it all. And we're going to limit this offer to the first 300 people that sign up for it. You say, well, I'm only paying $30 for visions a month now, and now you're going to ask me to pay $99. Well, it's worth $99. It's actually worth $699. We're going to give it to you for $99. That's my appreciation and thank you for everybody who's been with me and has gone through the ups and downs through the years, because you're going to get significant opportunity to take a lot of money to the bank. A reliable system that executes every night, come weather or storm or snow or sleet. It's going to be there for you. You just have to act on it, and you can really, I think, improve your investment result. The other thing that I'm making is, or commitment here, is Vision software. The PC version will also be included in your subscription to wallstreetwinning.com. 100% free for the next 12 months. So this is a way to, I'll call it, gravitate or move over time to what you have now, to the Wall Street winning signal system. All the features are not there right now, but they will be over time. We're working on a lot of them. So in the meantime, we said, okay, I'll just make Visions free. Well, we're going to keep supporting it. In fact, we're going to be able to improve the reliability, because we're going to be accessing the server at Wall Street Winning that has all the data on it. So all the fundamentals and stuff now that are being brought in from, I'll call it data services versus scraping pages that I have had to go through, we're going to improve the reliability of Visions a lot. So, and that'll solve some of those issues that we've had. So we're just going to make that free for at least 12 months. So that should give you a comfort factor to being able to use what we have in Visions now, and then as new features are made available on the new platform, you can take advantage of those new features. So it's a new age of investing where, again, the computer is going to work for you, put money in your pocket. That's the key to the whole thing. I want to try to allow you to get as much money out of the stock market as possible, because it's there. I've been doing it for 25 years. And, how do rich people get rich or richer? They invest in the stock market, okay? That's where the opportunity is. You can do it by building a company, but unless you own a significant part of the company, like Bill Gates, you can be a billionaire. Or a few of the other, the Zuckermans, okay, that come up with a company. Everybody can't do that, but there's a way for you to, I'll call it, increase your return out of the stock market with these types of tools now and these types of capabilities. There are some more features and offerings that we're working on. Will be a portfolio trade map with the winning signal. It's just almost like the trade map you have in Visions. You put in your stock symbols, and it's going to basically show you what's happening in real time for that list. So it shows you the same kind of colors: dark green, up more than 1%, lighter green, less than 1%, or the reds, that sort of thing for those people that are watching things more closely. We are also have in development our call option and put option filtering and signal processes. We've gone through all the data mining. We've gone through all of the comparison with Visions. So the data is all being processed correctly. It's a matter of presentation, and we thought it would be more important to provide the winning signal offering first and have these follow, because it's a lot of stuff. I've worked on Visions a long time, so we want to get something out there that really gives you an advantage, and winning signals will do that. So these things are all underway and will come later. Trade planner option strategies that are like in the Trade Express, and an auto trader. Auto trader is something that we're looking at and designing a system for. Remember, the computer does all the work. It knows when to buy, it knows when to sell. There are now available what you call it API interfaces to E-Trade, for example, and that has been reviewed and discussed with E-Trade. where we will be able to in the future, with account permission, in other words, if you have an E-Trade account, you can give permission for this system, the winning signal system, to execute trades in your account. This is how you're going to do that. Well, the computer is going to make connection with your account, issue a buy. You just have to have the rules of how much you want to buy, a dollar value, and it'll also issue the sell. It'll tell the system, buy $10,000 worth of Apple on the buy, and then when the sell occurs, it'll say sell those number of shares, which basically come back as information. Sell 122 shares of Apple. And that will happen automatically. So the plan is the platform will basically provide you with kind of a set of accounts. You say, okay, I want to put in $100,000 and I want the system to go into 5 positions, 20,000 each. So it would access your brokerage account and say buy 20,000 5 times. Once the money is all spent, it's waiting for sells. Once something gets sold, it says, okay, there's X amount of dollars available. It can use that to issue another buy. So here you have the case where your money is never sitting idle. Okay, from day to day to day, it's all being, I'll call it, invested for you automatically by the system, because there are a lot of buy opportunities that we are discovering every day, significant buy opportunities. So it's a matter of putting them to work for everybody every day. So that's Auto Trader, which is in process, it's in development as we deliver the winning signal in July. Some people may say, well, how does this all compare with Visions? Are you sure that all of this is really going to work? Well, that's been part of my job. I've been validating all the development, and what I'm doing is taking Visions, taking the results for Visions and comparing it against what the system is producing to make sure. So here we have an example of Boeing. For example, we had a gain of 29%. There were 2 trades. This is the winning signal result. Here's the Visions implementation. Exact identical signal. The buy, sell, and the exact data, the return 29.23, and the exact match. Okay, so the upper table is what Vision says. Here was the trades for Boeing out of Visions on 8/11 and 12/16, and you'll see the dates match, the exact gains match. So the implementation is 100% correct. It's taken me, a couple of months to make this happen, but that has been part of the underlying transfer of the algorithms of the technology to make it happen. So this is what I've been trying to accomplish with the developers to make sure this is all correct. Also the fundamentals. So here we have the verifying the fundamentals for Boeing and what the Vision search results are. So you'll see that they're identical. They have more decimal points than I do, but that's okay. I say revenue is 92 billion. They'd say it's 92.45 billion. Okay, so I rounded it because I didn't have a lot of room. But the actual data is exactly the same, which is very important. We want to make sure that the underlying implementation matches what I've been working on for 10 years, and it matches. So this is the best thing in the world, and it does. We have a model to verify everything against, and that is Visions, and that is in happening. So I hope you want to join the new age, investing where the computer works for you. We're going to put money in your pocket. Just keep track of wallstreetwinning.com. Go there. If you haven't signed up for a free trial, sign up. This concludes the set of, I'll call it official presentations. I think we can go to questions if we have questions on the line. Let's take a look.
Hey Ron, I can go through the questions with you if
Okay,
you
yeah.
want.
Why don't you, can you do that? We can,
Yeah, I'll kind of
the students are needed help.
so we have a question.
Get to the,
Um, Buy and sell price signal, is that the close or any price during the day? Screen 12. So the
any
buy and sell
price
signal.
during the buy sell is based on the close.
Somebody asked if we're going to have a replay or we can send the PowerPoint. We're going to actually send everybody a replay. Um, and again, the 99 special that Ron was talking about, that's the $6.99 value for 99. You can go to the website now, www.wallstreetwinning.com. Sign up there. We will send you more information how to complete um, when we're ready to launch in July. This will secure your spots and it will secure your price at the $99 special price. So another question from Kenneth Ginsberg. The finite state machine appears to be long only FSM. Does it also generate short signals? Are there plans to generate short signals?
Uh, the answer is yes. It can generate short signals, which, you know, is something that is in visions. We have not concentrated on that. That is something that is a thing we're looking at doing. It's called a lower priority right now. Uh, so it's definitely there in the capability of what we are doing right now. It's just that something that we have to make sure when we do it that we you know execute it all correctly. So we want to concentrate on the long side first. That's the reason.
Okay, great. Jed Graham had a question on screen 24. Um, how many days is money invested and how many days is your money sitting? Should you be able to add the money made when invested in another stock? No, you should be able to add the money made when invested in another stock. This should really amplify the ROI.
That is correct. In other words, we are finding such good results without even reinvesting. And if you're able to manage the funds, you should be able to, improve on the result. Anytime on any one of the charts that you looked at, the buy and sell, the money is sitting idle between the sell and the next buy. So on the monthlies, you'll notice sometimes it's 2 or 3 months before you reinvest. On the weeklies, it's a couple of days. So on the weeklies, maybe not as much you're going to be able to add to the result, but on the monthlies, you surely are. Uh, so that is, something that it's a bonus. I'll call it a bonus for you if you're able to, take the time to manage it.
Super. Screen 26. How well will this work in a market meltdown? I think that's probably a lot of people's question.
Well, we just had a meltdown on AMBA 2 days ago. On a weekly signal, we were in it, and it came out and said sell. So we sold. It was a loss, but if the stock kept going down, we were out as fast as possible. So we were out on the first down day. So the market meltdown, I mean, that usually doesn't occur in one day unless you have a flash crash, which nobody can do anything about. I mean, that's a catastrophe that you can't plan for. So why plan for it? The whole world will end then, right? If that happens. But that was momentarily, so you don't want to, be involved in that. So the key is the signal will get you out as fast as anybody. You just have to execute the signal.
Okay, Ron, we got another question from Mike Libretto. Approximately how many trades per month have you seen per portfolio?
Okay, I'm doing weeklies. I am averaging 2 or 3 a day, so that's about 2 or 3 a day. 2 or 3 sells, which results in new buys. So how else can I answer it? I got 4 divided by 80 trades in four accounts. That's 20 per account, or 20 per portfolio
Okay, super.
for the month.
Yep.
It's about right. I mean, we're trading 5 stocks in each one. That's 20 stocks, so uh, they're going to turn over 1 a week.
Perfect. We have another question from Mark Sokolov, and he asks, does the system suggest a stop loss?
No, the system does not suggest a stop loss. It has a sell at loss value because of the situation that people have got into on the flash crash, or as stocks trade up and down. The key is if you put in a stop loss and the stock goes down below that during the day, if you have a stop loss, you're going to sell at the next price, which may be much lower. And sometimes stocks turn around, and by the end of the day, they are above the sell price. So you basically got stopped out, and winning signal said, don't sell yet. Okay, because at the end of the day, its price was not a sell price. So what the sell comes in at, it's using end of day prices, processing all the information at night, and in the morning in your email it's going to say before the market opens whether to sell or not. So if you get a sell signal, it's suggesting put in the order in the morning to sell. Whether the stock is going up or down, sell. Now you say, well, what if it goes down some more and I sell? Well, that's the good signal. You probably should sell as soon as you can. If it goes up, sell anyway. You want to sell because the system is doing so much data processing behind that signal that there's no value you can add other than your gut feel and intuition. And if you're good at that, then use it. But my suggestion is follow the signal.
Great.
So even if you put in a market order, you're going to get out of the stock when it says sell the stock. Even on the buy side, I mean, the signal might come in at buy, in the morning you go look and the stock is already up. Well, yeah, that can happen. So, you want to buy. You say, well, I'm going to wait until it comes back down. It may never come back down. So you're going to be in that situation where you're waiting to buy in and you've missed the opportunity and it runs away from you and now you've lost the opportunity. Okay.
So Ron, I guess,
wow, it told me to buy and I waited, but the price went up, 3-4% before I bought because I was waiting. Nothing you can do about that. My suggestion is follow the signals. On average, it's going to average out. Sometimes they're going to be sell higher, sometimes they're going to sell lower. Same thing on the buy side. Get averages to be your favor. They will be. The average, I think, over time will even it up.
Perfect. Okay, another question. Do you archive the results for each portfolio? So maybe you want to tell them about the paper trading kind of aspect of
every user, every profile that you basically, if you sign up for one of their profiles, you are going to be in your account. Every buy and every sell is going to be logged, whether you do it or not. The system is going to buy and sell in your account on paper. And how do we do that? We're going to buy 100 shares and we're going to sell those 100 shares when it says sell. You have the ability to go into the system in your account and say, well, I bought 248 shares. You can change the number of shares and you can change the price. When you get the sell signal, when you sell, you go back to your account and say, I sold my 248 shares and this was the price I sold it at. So you can go update the record, but the system is going to track for everybody, every buy and every sell, every issue. And this is one of the things that we've been very careful of on the sell side. I said we've got to guarantee that if we issue a buy, we will issue a sell. I want to guarantee it, okay? There can't be any way where we're going to issue a buy and never issue a sell. It will, a sell is going to happen at some time. So the system has got to be robust enough to make sure, and this is one of the things, the protections we're putting in to make sure that happens. So we're going to track everybody that gets a buy signal, they're going to get a sell signal in their account per user. It's not just a general buy this stock. No, it's going to be done per user. And all that history is going to be there for you. You can go back in time. Even if you didn't buy it, do the buy sell, you can go look at what 100 shares would have got you, okay? You sometimes say, I should have done that. Well, that's woulda, shoulda, coulda type of situation that you can get into, which is okay. It's paper trading. You can watch everything. And the system, you can just watch the system for months, not even make one of the trades, and you can look and see whether or not you would have made money or not. That's okay too.
Okay, great. We have another question from Bob Malota. Great question. It says, can you explain weeklies a little bit more? Does that mean that those stocks have options that expire every week, or are options not a factor here at all?
Good question, yeah. No, it has nothing to do with options at this point. What we've done is we have implemented an algorithm that's able to extract gain in the short-term cycle, short view. We're looking at stocks in a very short period of time, 20, 30 days. And we've uncovered ways to basically monitor what's happening in every stock in that very short term and can make decisions of whether it was good to buy or when it is good to buy and sell those positions. So that's why we're calling it weekly, because we're experiencing that you're not in the trade for more than a week. Very short-term exposure, and we're not getting 20 and 30% on the returns. We're getting 2 and 3% each time, which is the important part. We'd rather take 3% to the bank, do that 15 times, right? Versus trying to get 20% return and do that twice. Okay? Well, it's like ball games. Singles and doubles win a lot of games. Home runs happen once in a while. They win once in a while, win a game. While we're looking for all of these singles and doubles in the short term, and that is what has been the significant development that we're bringing to the table here. So this is like I showed you on the Dow 30, doesn't happen on all 30 stocks. Turns out there's only about 11 of them that really perform well on a weekly basis. So that's not even one half of them. And that's kind of been the experience across the board. But if you can find those 11, you can make a lot of money. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're mining those. We're finding those 11 and presenting them to you every day.
Okay, there was one question about the $99 price. If they don't sign up now, are they still going to be able to get it a month from now?
Well, we're limiting it to 300, so I don't know. Months from now, we may be filled up. 300 may be gone. So
yeah, the webinar filled up really fast. So
I think it's better if people get on the list.
Okay.
That would be my suggestion, right, Adam? I mean, I can't guarantee anything at all. I mean,
right.
The offer is out there, and it's a matter of everybody, make their own decision on that. So.
Okay, somebody asked a question. Normally they have 40 to 55 separate companies in their portfolio. Can I use this to track all the companies?
Can I do what with them?
Basically, they have 40 to 55 separate companies in their portfolio now. So they can they use this tool? It's Jeff Manger asked the question if he can use it to track all the companies, and I think that is in the pipeline, right, Ron? So
well, he could put them in his holdings. He can put those symbols in his holdings.
Right. But it is something you're looking to do as far as in the future.
In the future of adding a capability of calling it managing a current portfolio. Yes, that is that is in the cards, but it's, it's something that we're not putting on the table right now.
Yes,
You
now,
say, well, why not? Because the problem is some of those companies, they may never get a cell signal for a long time. So we don't know when they were bought. We don't have the history of the buy. So we can't manage the buy sell very well, okay? Uh, if they put them in there and they say when they bought it and then they watch the system and find out because of a different buy sell process, there's a signal that says sell. If they look at it every day like they're doing now, once that sell occurs, then they would be on track to get a buy sell for the next cycle. See?
right.
Haven't solved that yet, but it's a good question, good idea. We've thought of it, haven't totally engineered it yet. But the guy will be able to watch his stocks in his holdings. It's just that we
Okay.
can't guarantee signals for him.
Okay. Gotcha. Um, on slides 12, 20, 21, the sell below and sell above prices are only 1 to 2% away from the buy price. Those percentages are a lot less than recommended in Show Me the Trade. Am I missing something?
Well, it's the weeklies. The weekly process, like I said, we're looking at very short returns, 2 to 3%. And this is exactly why we're able to generate those high yearly results, because we're taking 2% to the bank every week. Multiply that by 50, that's 100%. So it does add up over time. Anytime you're able to do that on a consistent basis, if our winning, if you saw our win ratio there, if you had 14 wins and 4 losses, significant win ratio with those percentages gets you a significant return. And that's what we basically engineered in the system here. You call it uncovered, discovered. I said it's mathematical processes that we've been using in this whole implementation. And as we've been doing the testing, we've been running these variables from 1 to 100, let's say, versus only looking at 20 to 30 on the variable. We're running just to verify that everything works correctly. In that process, this opportunity popped up. And I said, wait a second, look at this. Look at what's happening to these stocks if we run these short 1 or 2% return opportunities continuously. We can make a lot of money.
Absolutely. We had one more question. I think we'll probably wrap it up here. It's how do you decide which stocks to buy and sell?
How do?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, how does the system decide? The system is deciding it based on fundamentals. Okay, the fundamentals are as were described in visions. In the book, show me the trade or show me the money, are the fundamentals. In the new book, we'll have the fundamentals. If everything passes those fundamentals, then we're going to look at, is it a buy opportunity? Same process we've used with visions with Scout. That takes a long time to run. This runs every night on everything. That's the beauty of it, where, like I said, I showed the examples where if you ignore the fundamentals, you can get opportunities with double and triple returns, but the fundamentals stink on those companies. I wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. That's why they're not going to pop out unless you know the symbol and you go look. The system is going to try to be as conservative as I has been, and we've added moderate and aggressive on the filtering and identified it as such. So my suggestion is to people to do some testing, do some, you think, well, I'm very conservative. Well, okay, stay 70% conservative, do 20% moderate and 10% aggressive. Look at your result. Does your aggressive give you a satisfactory return? Are you satisfied with taking a little more risk there and getting a much bigger return than with a conservative approach? You might be, so you might want to change your mix a little bit over time. The opportunity is there.
Okay, Scott McQuillan had another question. Just to be clear, when the system sends us a buy or a sell in the morning, we're supposed to put it in the market order to buy or sell that morning?
Yes.
Question mark? Yes. Okay, super. Hopefully we answered all the questions. If there's any more questions, put them in the box. If you didn't get your question answered, just feel free to send me an email as well. We will get to all those questions, and like I said, we will be sending a replay out to everybody. Make sure that you've registered on wallstreetwinning.com. We're going to be sending you more information, so be on the lookout for that. I appreciate your time, Ron. I mean, this has been very informational, really eye-opening, and thanks for everything that you presented today. Really appreciate that.
Great. Happy to do it, and say thank you to everybody for all your past support. So have a great evening. Sign up. Hope to hear from you.
Thank you.